Hi friends, welcome to Wafa Studies YouTube channel. This is part 14 in Azure Synapse Analytics playlist. In this video, we are going to discuss about external data sources and how to create one external data source in Synapse Studio. Okay, so in the process of creating an external data source, we are going to understand what is master key and we are going to create one, and also we are going to create one credential as well. Okay, so before watching this video, I will strongly recommend to watch my previous video, because in my previous video actually I discussed about something called logical data warehouse. Okay, and also I said inside the logical data warehouse you will be not having any local storage. So here whatever you see, those are like external tables and views and everything. So all these external tables and views whatever you see there, they actually don't contain any data. To quickly summarize or recap, so let's assume this is external table. Okay, so external table will have some kind of query, create external table like that. Okay, so whenever you try to execute select star from external table, then what will happen, it is going to return some data here. Okay, but this data will be coming from some external resources. Maybe let's assume you have a data lake storage, and inside it, that means ADLS, and inside this ADLS maybe you have employees.csv and maybe department.csv, like that you have two files. So these files will actually contain data. So this data, on top of this data, you can create a external table, and you can store that external table in the logical data warehouse whatever I created. So whenever you actually run the select query on that external table, it will actually go and get the data from your external storage only. Okay, so this and all we discussed in our last video. I am just giving a quick recap. So now, to achieve all that external tables and whatever it is, actually there is something called external data source. So one has to create external data source, and we are going to understand this, what is this external data source, in this video. Okay, so let me go to presentation. So external data sources are used to establish connection with external resources such as Azure storages or any other storages, and it is primarily used for data virtualization and data load using Polybase. So what I mean to say is, actually let's assume, think from SQL point of view. Let's assume this is your SQL DB. Okay, and let's assume you have one data lake storage here, Azure data lake storage. Okay, and you have another storage, maybe Oracle here, right? And you have another storage like maybe some other SQL or some MySQL, or you have some different storages. So all these are external storages, right? These are not part of your SQL. So all these are external storages. So now if you want to get data from these external storages from within SQL DB. So in this SQL DB, you want to write a query to get data from these external resources or external storages. Then you should have something called external data source. Okay, so this external data source will actually allow you to, from your SQL DB, go and connect with some external resources, and then get the data from there to query for your analysis purpose or whatever maybe it is. So external data sources are, think like nothing but like a connection strings. Okay, so these are like a connection strings for external data storages. So using this external data source only, your SQL DB can go and get the data from those different resources. Okay, so this is what I tried to explain here. And using query, if you able to get the data from different storages and directly do the data aggregations or analysis on top of it, then that is called data virtualization. So data virtualizations usually, let's assume, let me clear this canvas, let me give one example. Let's assume you have Azure data lake storage, and you have some IoT hub system, and you have some other API. So these are like different data sources, let's assume. So usually what you do, you create some kind of ETL pipeline, ETL tool you use, and you create ETL pipeline to store all this data. Maybe let's assume this is SQL data warehouse. So all this data you actually store here. That means your data will be available here as well, and the same data will be available here as well. After that, on top of this data, you will actually run a query. So this is called a local query. Why? Because your data actually locally available here, and you are running a query on top of that local. So this is a local query. So this is not data virtualization. So data virtualization means, let's take the same example. Let's assume you have ADLS, API, and you have IoT. There are different sources you have, let's assume, and you have a SQL DB here, and now you are writing a query here without moving data from here to here. You directly written a query. That query in turn go and get data from these external sources. Then that is called data virtualization. Okay, so to do that you need something called external data sources. Okay, so we are going to create one external data source in this video as well. Okay, and to create any external data sources, this is the syntax: create external data source, and you can give one name for your external data source with keyword, and you need to mention a location of that external storage and also credential for that external storage. So again, what is this credential object we are going to discuss? This is also part of your SQL object. Okay, and this is the credential object what we are using it here. So let me do one thing here. So let me go to my Synapse Studio here. So if you remember, in our past video we created this database called DemoDB using our serverless SQL pool, and in this DemoDB, if I expand, you can see here under external resources you see something called external data sources. So if I create one external data source to connect with some maybe let's assume data lake storage, then that external data source will come and available under this folder. So let me do one thing. Let me go to development tab. Let me click new SQL script here, and let's try to make sure this script file is connected with my serverless SQL pool. And here, as I said, if you really want to create an external source, so let's assume what is my use case is I want to create a external data source which should point to data lake storage. So if I go to data tab here and if I go to linked tab here, while I am creating this Synapse workspace, I have linked one data lake storage Gen 2 with my Synapse workspace. So let me practically show you that. So when I hover on this, you can see my data lake storage name as well. One second, you can see Mahir ADLS Gen 2. So this is my data lake storage Gen 2. So I want to create a external data source for this data lake storage Gen 2, so that from my SQL script I can directly query the data which is available inside that data lake storage. Okay, so how to do that? To do that, what I am going to do, so you need to create an external data source, right? So in the script you can write the same syntax. So for our better, to make our life easy, what I did, I just added all the scripts here. So let me paste this script here. So here I am trying to create a external data source. Create external data source. I given one name for my external data source. Then here I am pointing to my data lake storage. So if you see this URL, this is my data lake storage Gen 2 location. If you don't know how to get this particular URL for your data lake storage Gen 2, what you can do? So let me practically show you here. Let me go to Azure portal home, and let me open my data lake storage Gen 2 here. And inside this data lake storage Gen 2, under overview tab, you can see that information. Or what you can do, I think if you go to properties somewhere, so let me scroll down and see where the properties are available. Sorry, not under properties, I think under endpoints, under data lake storage Gen 2. If you go to endpoints, if you scroll down here, somewhere you will see something called primary endpoint. So let me show you that. Yeah, you can see here primary endpoint for your data lake storage. So this is the URL which you need to take, and you need to keep it as your location for the external data source. And here you need to create some credential object actually. So here I mentioned one credential object name, so but I haven't created this credential object. So before creating this external data source, I should create this credential object first. So again, what is credential? Let's go and understand. So let me go to my presentation. So what is credential? So credential or database scoped credential. So what it is it is nothing but like it's a record that will contain your authentication information that is required to connect with a resource which is outside of SQL Server. That means in our case the credential has to be used to connect with this data lake storage Gen 2. So that means this data lake storage Gen 2 will be having some authentication process, right? So that using that authentication process, I should create one record, and I should give a name for that record as demo credential, and that name I am using under my external data source. So how I can do that is, let me go to my notepad and let me copy this credential related script as well. So let me copy this entire script, Control C, Control V. If you closely observe here, what I am going to do, I am going to create database scoped credential, and I given a name for that scoped credential called demo credential. If you observe, the same name I am using for credential object, for credential keyword here. And inside this credential, what I am doing, I am going to use my shared access signature of my data lake storage Gen 2. And what is the shared access signature secret value? That entire value I pasted here. So again, if you don't know what is shared access signature, think like it is a key which you can use to authenticate with your data lake storage gen 2, and that entire key will look like something like this. So if you really don't know where this particular key is available and how to access and all, so let's go to data lake storage gen 2 once again. And here what you can do, if I scroll down, you see something called shared access signature. You need to navigate to this menu, and here you should say like this shared access signature should allow me to access containers or services or objects. So these permissions you need to select, and if you scroll down here, you can click this generate SAS and connection string. So if I scroll down, see this is the SAS token, right? So which will start with question mark symbol, SV equals to this everything, and this particular SAS token will have some expiry also from 27th 12/6 to 27th 8/6. So up to this particular time, this particular SAS token will be available for you. So let me copy this entire SAS URL here, and let me go to my workspace, and here I should replace this entire SAS token. So delete, Control V, and what I have to make sure is I have to remove this question mark. So even when you guys are trying, you need to remove that question mark, and you need to use that entire SAS or shared access signature value here. Okay, so that means I am trying to store this entire authentication information as a single record, which is called credential, and I given a name for that record as a demo credential, and that object, that demo credential object only, I am passing into my external data source to create an external data source to connect with my ADLS Gen 2. Okay, so now whenever you try to create an external data source, actually there is a thumb rule. Okay, it's not mandatory, but usually what we have to do is we have to create something called master key. So before creating any database scoped credential, you must create a master key to protect your credentials. If you don't create a master key, then this credential whatever you created, it will be not protected. So if you want to do this credential in an encrypted fashion to store on the SQL server, then always you should have a master key first, and then create credential, and once the credential is ready, then create the external data source that will ultimately allow you to connect with your external data source. In this case, I am trying to connect with ADLS Gen 2. So let's create master key. So to create master key, I have a script here ready. So let me copy this entire script here. Control C, Control V. So what I am going to do, so I am going to say like use this particular DB, because on the SQL DB only I am trying to create all this, and I am creating a master key, create master key encryption, and we can give some password for that master key. Using this password only, the all encryption logic will happen. So once the master key creates on my database, then I am creating a credential inside the database which will actually have authentication information for my ADLS Gen 2. Okay, and once that authentication information is stored under this credential object called demo credential, then I am creating a external data source, and I given a name for my external data source as demo data source, and here I mentioned using this credential I want to connect with ADLS, this particular ADLS Gen 2, because this credential whatever I created, this credential is actually credential information for this particular data lake storage Gen 2 only. So the same data lake storage Gen 2 I used for location here. So let me execute this entire scripts which will actually create a master key, then which will create a database scoped credential object to connect with ADLS Gen 2, and then finally a data source object, external data source object. Okay, so here our entire query executed successfully. You can see query execution status successful. So that means it created a master key, and it created this particular credential object, and also it created this external data source. So let's go to our data tab now, and here if I navigate under my demo DB, if I go to external sources, external data sources, you see I can see my external data source here called demo data source. So that means from now on, using this external data source, I can easily connect with my ADLS Gen 2 account and write a query on top of that particular Gen 2 account data. So for example, inside that account, if you have some data in some files or some location, then I can directly write a SQL query on top of it from this particular database. Okay, so when you are writing a query on this database demo DB, and that query is actually asking you to get the data from data lake storage Gen 2, then how that happen? This is a separate DB and ADLS Gen 2 is a separate storage. So how that magic happening between these two? which can help you to communicate and get the data from that particular ADLS storage into all that because of this external data source only. So that is the reason. So external data sources will actually allow you to connect with some external data sources and query the data from those particular storages. Okay, so think like, if you know ADF, think like this is like a linked service, okay, which will actually have the entire credential or connection string information. So using which whenever you try to issue some kind of a on demand data request or data movement or something, so linked services in ADF will help you to do that, right, to connect with external sources and get the data or move the data, whatever it is. Similarly here in the SQL world, if you want to get the data from some external storage into your SQL DB, or from this SQL DB you want to query the data which is available in the external sources, then you have to create the external data source. Okay, so this video may be little confusing. If you haven't understand this, to try to watch 2-3 times. Okay, this is very important to understand what is external data source. Okay, so I hope you understood this. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get the notification whenever I add videos. Thank you so much.